Hello, my name is Amy Sturkey. I am a pediatric physical therapist, and in my series, am interviewing adults who are different from me. And I'm interviewing Gray, and Gray has autism. And how old are you, Gray?
I am 28 years old.
28. Gray, I wanted to talk to you about therapies. Let's just start with OT, PT, speech. Have you done those kind of therapies?
I did OT and speech therapy in elementary school.
Okay. Did you do them at a private clinic or did you do them at school or?
I did them at a clinic.
At a clinic.
I think I did them once a week.
Okay. OT and speech. So you never did any physical therapy?
No.
That doesn't surprise me because I think only recently has physical therapy been on the strong considering block for people who are diagnosed with autism. And so elementary school, do you have a feeling for how many years you did it?
I think up until 5th grade.
Up until 5th grade. And did you have trouble with your handwriting, or why were you doing occupational therapy?
I'm not exactly sure of the specific reason, but I think it was like general body coordination.
Mm-hmm. And were they doing sensory integration style treatment, lots of swing work and movement work too?
Yes, that sort of thing.
Yeah. And then your language is a strength, but you were doing some speech therapy too?
Yes.
My gut feel it might have been more conversational. Tell me what because I don't know. What did they emphasize in speech therapy?
Actually, now that I think of it, maybe speech wasn't what it was called. It was something else.
Huh. It's all right. And you said there was another therapy that you've done.
Well, yes, but I don't know how much it applies here because what I said was that I've been visiting a psychological therapist for 8 years now.
Uh-huh.
You know, like the kind of therapist you see for like depression and stuff.
Right.
But I don't think that is really relevant here.
Okay. So you've seen maybe speech therapist, definitely occupational therapist, and psychotherapist. Tell me, a lot of therapists follow this channel, and we all want to do better. Can you tell us what makes a good therapist?
I guess I sort of define therapy as the I'm trying to think of how I should put it in words.
Take your time.
As the study of understanding the mind and understanding and revealing the patient's mind.
This is
of therapy in general.
And therapy in general.
And I think a good therapist has to not just be able to figure out what makes their client tick, but also be able to empathize with them with whatever problems they have. And this goes for occupational therapies too, as well as psychological ones. if you're undergoing an occupational therapy session, it's no good if the therapist doesn't understand exactly why you need it and what the end goal is.
Exactly.
It's not, in other words, it's not plug and play.
Very true.
The therapy session has to be tailored to the client. And the therapist has to be able to listen to the client's feedback to understand what will work for them.
Because everybody's so different, like you said before.
Yes.
I love that. There's I see a lot of families who have a child with autism that try a lot of different treatment options to try to help their child gain more skills. Some of them are the brushing program. Have you done that one?
Yes, my parents did that to me for several years. This was something they did themselves. Every night before I went to bed, they would take out this little handheld brush and do it on me while I was in my pajamas.
All right, that's the Wilbarger TheraPressure program, I think is what it's called right now. Did you think that was helpful for you?
I thought it felt good.
Ah, well, there you go. They must have thought it was helpful for you, or they wouldn't. You said for years they did that.
Yes.
Yeah.
They did eventually stop.
Okay. Let's see, there's therapeutic listening. Did you ever do those? Where you wore headphones and listened to CDs with modified music?
Not as a part of a regular therapy, but I do sometimes listen to music on my own terms that I suppose you could say has the same effect.
Huh. Okay. And then there's transcranial brain stimulation. You tried that one before?
What's that?
Well, I'm not an expert on that, so my clients go to a doctor who specializes this, and then they put electrodes on their skull to try to stimulate areas of their brain to help.
That's never been done with me.
Okay. And then reflex integration, sound like no from what we said before. What about ABA?
No.
Okay. And then a lot of people try diets, particularly cutting out gluten or cutting out casein. Have you?
I've never done those things.
Or allergy therapy?
No.
All right. So your family has gone a more traditional route of finding the right schools for you and supporting you in school and then some therapy. But
yes.
Yep. And some medication management, would it be my guess?
Yes.
Yeah. Are there, of the things that you feel like your family tried, are there some that you would recommend or would definitely not recommend?
Well, as far as things I would not recommend, or at least that didn't work for me, I wouldn't go so far as to say I don't recommend it for anyone.
Right.
We briefly tried equine therapy when I was about 8 years old.
Uh-huh.
And it didn't really amount to much.
Right. And what about, did you had a therapy dog or any animals that are particular?
Not officially, no. Though I will say our two cats are very good companions that often make me feel better when I'm...
Fair. I really appreciate you talking about all the therapies, and it was particularly interesting to me to hear what you thought a good therapist was. I appreciate so much your time and your willingness to talk about what's probably tricky for you. Thank you so much, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye. If you liked this video and would like to be notified by email when the next video comes out, click the subscribe button here and click the golden bell icon and ensure notifications are enabled on your account.